All right. It's the Sideshow Podcast. I'm Raaj Bundles, aka Sideshow Raaj. We got a special guest in the building today.
What's up, Raaj?
Singer, songwriter, producer, DJ, Miss Dina Rae in the building. Dina Rae, how's it going?
I'm blessed. I can't complain. Thank you for having me.
No problem. I see you over there looking good, glowing, and I appreciate you coming on board.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You're in Detroit, yeah?
Yeah, I'm here in Michigan. So you're originally from California?
Yes, I'm from Los Angeles, born and raised. One of the few.
Okay. So what was your upbringing like? Any siblings or?
I grew up with a younger brother, heavily into sports. I had two older sisters that didn't live in the house with me. I was a dancer back in the day, technically trained for several years, very competitive, till about 18, 19 when I crossed over into the music business. So the way that transition kind of happened is my mentor, Regina Williams, she had the first hip hop dance studio in Los Angeles. And a lot of the old acts used to rehearse there. So you got like BBD, who just broke off from New Edition. You got, Jasmine Guy and Madonna and all these celebs used to rehearse at her studio. So we were like the little kids peeking behind the corner watching rehearsals. So that's where I kind of got the itch to get more into music.
Okay, so the dancing segued into music, your love of music for you.
Absolutely, because obviously music is a part of dance. So I always had it in my blood.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And when did you record your first record? Like when did you put your first vocals on wax?
I have a really good story about that actually. So the Far Side, they used to be dancers. Okay, if you remember a West Coast group called the Far Side. And my boy Fat Lip had turntables at his crib, and a bunch of us went over to his house one day after class. And he was just playing a beat on the turntables, and I had this song stuck in my head that I had started just writing in my head. I'd never laid anything before. And I started kind of humming it to the beat. And he was like, wait, what are you saying? What are you saying? And he was like, hold up, go in there, go in the booth, go lay that down. I was like, huh? So I went in there, laid it down. And it kind of just, that's where the bug got me. Like I knew that was going to be like my home, that booth. So that was really the first time I ever recorded was with Fat Lip.
Okay. So, and that was the night you fell in love and never looked back from there.
Pretty much. Yeah. And then really like the pen started going, because you got to understand, like I started singing with MCs. I was always the hook girl. So being that you're around all these talented writers, yes, thank you very much. But being that, being around all these MCs, these talented writers, I always felt that pressure to come with it, with the pen, especially when I have, moved on to some of the great MCs that I wound up working with. That really put the pressure on.
Okay. And in 2000, you appeared on the Marshall Mathers LP, which is now Diamond, with 21 million records sold. Also, 2001 won the Grammy for Best Rap Album. How did you and Eminem end up linking up? How did you guys meet?
So actually, I met him about 9 months before he was introduced to the world. So he was in Los Angeles. He had just signed a Dre, and a friend of mine who was working for Interscope at the time was driving him around. And we bumped into each other like in a parking lot at Jerry's Deli, which used to be a famous deli here by the Beverly Center. And he asked my boy, like, who is that? And he was like, oh, that's Dina Rae. She sings all the hooks for the locals, blah, blah, blah. And M said, well, tell her to come to the studio the next day. So long story short, the next day I pull up at the studio and I recorded what became Come On Everybody on the Slim Shady LP. And that was in 99. And then the track 13 kept coming after that.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get into that, get into all of that. Okay, so in that first album in 2000, on the Marshall Mathers LP, was that your first placement ever?
Well, the Come On Everybody was, because that was a Slim Shady LP, and then the Marshall Mathers LP came after that.
Okay.
And then D12, or was it D12 and then Marshall Mathers? Yeah. I forgot the order. It was either Devil's Night, Marshall Mathers LP, and then the Eminem show.
Yeah. So on the Marshall Mathers LP, you showed up on track 13, Drug Ballad. How did that song come together? And were you guys in the studio together when you recorded that?
Absolutely. M is very strategic about how he wants things. He's a mastermind, as everybody knows. He knew what he wanted me to sing, but he always gave me room, like in my ad-lib tracks, and he wanted my personality to come through. So like if you listen to any of the records I did with him, you'll always hear my little oohs and ahs, and then my laugh, and like whatever happened in the booth in that moment. He loved catching those like unique, non-planned moments, you know, the real organic shit.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then in 2001, you appeared on D12's Devil's Night, which debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 and also went platinum. You appeared on track 13, Pimp Like Me. How did that record come together?
Okay, so I had just came home. I had like an accident and I was in the hospital. And I just had surgery, and I was sitting in the movie theater with my boyfriend at the time, and we had beepers back then, and he got a page that said, they're looking for Dina Rae on Power 106. They like just put an APB out and was looking for me. So I guess he didn't have like my new number or something. So I snuck out the movie theater and I called the studio, and they're like, yo, you know, we need you. We're only here tonight. You know, I need you for this D12 record. So on pain pills, fresh out the hospital, I wind up going to the studio and doing the record for D12, and that's how that happened. And I think I only met like maybe 2 of the guys that night. M was there, I believe Bizarre was there, and I hadn't met Proof yet.
Okay, so did you ever get a chance to meet Proof before he passed away?
Oh, absolutely. I don't know if you want to jump to that part of the story yet, but
let's hear a good D12, a good Proof story.
Okay, well, this is actually, you gotta listen carefully. This is real special. So I got invited to do the anger management tour with M in 2002.
Yeah.
And I'm in my dressing room, and I have a photograph of my godmother. And here comes Proof into the dressing room, like, who are you? Who the hell are you? And I said, I'm Dina Rae. I'm the one that sings on your records. He was like, oh, he said, who's that? And he's pointing to the picture of my godmother. And I said, that's Sydney Davis, my godmother. She used to sing for Marvin Gaye. He said, bullshit. Put her on the phone. I said, okay. So I said, Godmama, do you know some guy named Deshaun Holton? His father is McKinley Jackson. She said, what? McKinley Jackson? Put him on the phone. And she starts like having a heart attack. Turns out that Proof's father, who was Marvin Gaye's musical director, gave my godmama her first opportunity to tour with Marvin Gaye 20 years to the date. It was 1982, and this is 2002. So she knew Proof when he was a little boy on tour with his dad. Wow. So yeah, so she asked him, she said, look out for my baby. This is her first tour, you know. And he said, yes, ma'am. And from that day on, he was on me. Like, Proof looked out like a little sister and always made sure I was good. And he eventually actually helped me get my own deal to Motown. That's a little bit further in the story.
Okay, that's dope. And when you record the records with D12, you said you guys were in the studio, right?
Yeah, everything in the studio. I mean, for the most part, like, M knows what he wants, but he always let me sprinkle my flavor on there, you know? So all my ad libs, all my melodies are all mine.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, that Proof story, that's crazy. It's a small world. I guess the 6 degrees of separation thing is real.
Absolutely. And I didn't think I had any ties to Detroit outside of M. And then here is Proof, who is like kin to my godmother. And it just kind of, I don't know, it just made everything full circle, and it just made everything make sense. And it also, it made me feel more comfortable too on the road, because I didn't really know anybody. And it was my first tour. I was the only girl on tour. So you can imagine.
And what tour was that again?
Anger Management Tour
Anger Management
in
Tour.
2002.
2002. Yeah, that's my my segue there. In 2002, you appeared on the Eminem show, which sold 27 million copies and won an 03
Is that
best
the new?
rap album,
Is that
the Grammy for best
new?
rap album 2003. Yep. You appeared on track 13, Superman, which is a big record. I want to give you, your flowers on that. The Eminem Superman record. That's one of those records that's good in any generation. I play it anywhere I go. Everybody knows black, white, Asian. Everybody knows that song, and everybody loves that record.
I appreciate
how did that record come together? Take us back to that point in time.
Okay, so dang, I don't know how much I can talk. How much can I really dish? So okay, how did this start? Some politics. I don't even want to go into that. Let's just say this, okay? I was called in. That was flown to Detroit to do Superman.
Oh, you did. You did Superman here in Michigan.
I did. I did it in studio.
Okay.
So the other three we did in Los Angeles, and then Superman I got flown in because at that point he's got he's got the means to do it. So he flew me in to do Superman, and I'll give you a little fun fact. A lot of people don't know this. Sorry, hold on. But Mariah actually was the original vocal on Superman, Mariah Carey.
Oh, wow.
And whatever happened. I think he was a little upset. And he called me, he said, fuck it, call Dina. So I get flown in. Her vocal was actually the reference. And I recorded there in the studio in his crib. And that's how Superman came about.
Wow, that's crazy. Mariah Carey was originally supposed to be on the Superman record. That's crazy.
She was, and I don't think anybody knows that. So that's kind of
that's a sideshow exclusive right there. You guys heard it here first. Dina Rae coming with the exclusive. The exclusive drops on us. Sideshow exclusive right there, man. Mariah Carey, wow. But you did your thing on that record, and I see the plaque back there. I see you posted something about that as well. You finally receiving the plaque and getting your flowers, your due diligence on that record.
Yeah. Sometimes we gotta follow up to get our little plaques or whatever. But so that's how that record happened. And then I will always respect because he's always been real straight up with me. He always tells me what it is. And at the time, he basically told me this when he flew me to Detroit. He said, look, I can't sign you, Dina. Me and Dre just went half on this kid named 50. He said, but I'm going to put you on this tour and you're going to go get your own deal.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. I mean, I couldn't be mad. He was very forthcoming with me, and I was just grateful for the opportunity, and having the dance background and performance background, like that was an amazing opportunity to be able to do an arena tour like that. That's a once in a lifetime. So
yeah, I was gonna say, any good memories from the Anger Management Tour? Any dope stories you can give us?
Well, it was just really funny because you got to understand there were like a lot of different camps on this tour. So like Exhibit opened for us. And that's how I met Raaz, who's now like my brother. We do a lot of records together. Ludacris, Exhibit, the Executioners. Who else was on that tour? And it was like a suburban tour. There was a rock band on there too. So anyway, you can imagine there's like the only other girl on this tour was Shauna. That was with Luda.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I kind of felt the heat at first being on a tour bus with all dudes. But let me tell you, when those groupies kicked in, I was happy. I was like, go, go, go. It's just like, man, the groupies is like a serious situation. Like there's females that will follow the tour, like the whole tour. You'll see the same people, just following, serious, like they do it for a living. It's amazing.
Full-time tours.
Full-time tours.
Full-time tourists.
Yes, full-time tours, exactly. But I mean, I would just say overall, just it was just a dream come true being able to rock shows of that magnitude, you know. And I think I was very in the moment. Like I was aware that it was a once in a lifetime opportunity. You know what I mean? Like I think at my first show, they flew us into Buffalo. And I just like peeked behind the curtain and I was looking at the crowd like, damn, like, okay, like, thank you, God. If I never get to do this again, thank you, you know, because you just, you know, it's surreal, you know, it's the shit you dream about when you're a kid, you know. Um, so yeah, I mean, it was a dope opportunity. And being a girl, also, you learn things like, you know, you got to learn how to move and how to not move, and like you just learn little lessons being a female, especially in that environment. You gotta, you know, understand too, like as a female, perception is everything. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I used to smoke weed at the time. If someone see me coming out, you know, somebody's room and I was just smoking a blunt, it might look like something was going down. You know what I mean? Just because I'm a girl. So, you know, it was definitely like a learning curve for me as far as being a female in the industry, you know?
Absolutely. And on that tour, did you get to go back home and perform? Did you perform in LA?
Yeah, but it wasn't really LA. It was like on the outskirts of LA. So we did Devore. So I got to have like some of my people come out and everything. But we did a few California spots, like it was Devore, San Diego. I think we did San Francisco or San Jose. So, and oh yeah, we did SAC and Fresno. So okay. Yeah, we got to definitely do California run.
Okay, cool. That's what's up. Okay, yeah. And then in 2004, you appeared on D12's final studio album, D12 World. Which
That's a rumor.
You said it's a rumor?
Not me.
I think, I don't know. You're in the credits. And,
I know. That's not me. I don't know who that is, to be honest.
So you didn't show up on D12's World?
Nope. That's a rumor. They just didn't know who it was, so they said it was me, and it probably wasn't track 13. See, you got to see
track 13 titled "Bitch." I thought that was.
Oh yeah, no,
that's not you.
1, 2, 3, 4. I've been on those 4 albums. Okay. That's it. The first D12 album. That's it. Okay. After the Eminem show, you know, I had to go do my thing, and I made an album for Motown.
Okay, and let's segue into that. How did the deal with Motown come about, and were you happy over there with everything that went on, and how did the deal come about? Let's start there.
Well, so basically, it was coming to an end, the tour, and Proof was like, "Yo, what are you gonna do?" Because I didn't have no deal. You know, it wasn't as simple as like, "Oh, you know, you're going to be on tour with me. All these people are going to be throwing deals at you." It was a little bit confusing if you watch the show, because I was brought out after Obi Trice. So it kind of looked like, oh, he's finally going to put this girl out. You know what I mean? So industry didn't know I needed a deal. Everybody thought I was shady. You know what I'm saying? So that was a little frustrating. And then Proof was like, "What are you going to do?" I was like, "I don't know." He was like, "You're going to stay in the D, and you're going to stay at the studio, and you're going to make your album." I was like, "Oh, word? Okay." So I wind up staying in Detroit. Proof puts a whole schedule together for me. I mean, he had me working with Dave Dilla, Sick Notes, Dogmatic, all the Detroit locals. Like, he had it on my schedule. You know what I mean? And so Sick Notes, I don't know if you're familiar or not, they're from Detroit, but they basically produced the record that got me signed to Motown. My godmother basically took all the records I recorded at Proofs and sent them to Motown, and they pretty much signed me on the spot. But Proof was not happy about it.
Well, why not?
Because I was supposed to be signing to Proof's independent label. And my thing was like, "Yo, let me get this major deal so I can get this advance and everybody can eat." You know what I mean? But he felt like, they were using me because of the Eminem name attached to me, and that they really didn't believe in me like that. You know what I mean? So it became a little bit of a rift, but he still, he still supported me and understood, because be honest, at that point, I needed to re-up on my money. My little tour money was running out, so I needed that deal. I'll keep it 100 with everybody. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what it is. A lot of the business when it comes to everything is not what it looks like. You know what I mean? So, so I did the Motown thing. They kind of dropped the ball. I had Scott Storch singles, vinyl, all of that. And then, my CEO got fired, and then we all got dropped. And now I'm just like sitting there with no deal, fresh off of Eminem shit and no situation. So it was frustrating.
So you only dropped one album with Motown?
I actually dropped 2 singles. The album never came out.
Okay. What were those 2 singles? You remember?
Yeah. One is called And it's produced by Scott Storch. And that's the second one there, which I co-wrote with Candy, who's now on Atlanta Housewives, but Candy from Escape. Her and Scott Storch helped me produce that vinyl right there. It's called Can't Even See It. And then the next journey begins.
Okay, so when so you said Proof was a little upset that you signed to Motown. So once you signed to Motown, did you and his relationship, did you stop dealing with him, or did you guys' relationship stay the same?
No, I mean, we were still the same. I started having to move around because I had to go to Miami a lot to work with Scott Storch and fly here and fly there to promote and this and that. And I kind of knew that he wasn't really feeling the deal. You know what I mean? So he would still check on me, make sure I was good and whatnot. I got several of the producers out of Detroit checks. Denine from D12, he produced the record for my Motown album. He did a really dope song. It's kind of sad because the album was dope, but it never came out. And the crazy thing is I've tried to like even upload it, and Universal won't let me. I always get flagged, so I can't even put out my own album.
Wow.
And it's just sitting there.
So Universal owns the masters and the rights to that album.
Yes, and they told me if I want it, I owe them $500,000.
Oh wow, that's crazy. But I mean, it's like, if you're not gonna release it, like, what's the point if you guys are just sitting on it?
Thank you. That's what happened. So I guess they're waiting for me to like blow up or something so they could have leverage on me or whatever. But I'm like, I'm flying under the radar right now. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, so okay, that's the industry for you.
Yeah, okay. And I see you got the Trade Places record and the Upscale Ratchet record with the OG Razzcast. Go ahead, break down you and Razzcast's relationship. How did you guys meet up? And break down you guys' relationship for us.
I mean, we both have very strong relationships with Proof, and after Proof passed away, I think anybody, we just kind of clung to each other out of friendship and for love of Proof. It was like only so many people can understand that pain. You know what I mean? Like, if you knew Proof, he was just such an amazing spirit, and he lit up any room. And even people that only met him one time, he made such an impression on. So I think that bond, that commonality, you know what I mean? That's what really bonded Raz and I. And then plus, like, he's always championed my talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, Raz is a real big champion of Dina Rae work. He always bigs me up or brings me in on projects, or when I came home from New York after the Motown thing, I started engineering because I really wanted to learn how to cut myself. And Raz actually took me over to Corrupt Studio, and that's how that kind of started. I started doing records with them, but it came from me running Pro Tools and cutting the hooks, and I just started wearing multiple hats.
Absolutely. That's dope. That's dope. Okay. And then I seen you appeared on the HRSMN album. You appeared on the single Apocalypse featuring Cannabis, Corrupt.
I love that
Killer
record.
Priest,
Yes.
Razzcast.
Yes.
How did that record end up coming together? And did you guys make that all in studio together?
The Horseman album happened while I was working at Corrupt. And no, everybody was not there. I would say, I think just Corrupt and Raz were there, and a bunch of other people. I think Killa and Cannabis did their verses separate, but I didn't even know that record was gonna come out. And then like Raz, invited me to the release party a couple months ago. He was like, "You better show up because you're on the album." I was like, "Oh, word." So
so you didn't even know you were going to be on the album.
I didn't even know, but it sounds really good, and I'm proud of, you know, to be a part of that project. I love anything that stays true and is authentic, you know, in a hip hop way, because there are some real MCs on that album, some real hip hop.
That's dope.
I love being a part of that. I'm proud of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, those guys definitely have the more true hip hop sound. Guys like Cannabis, Ras Kass,
Corrupt. Oh, they're seasoned. You know what I mean? They're seasoned. You know, no disrespect to anybody current, but we're talking about OGs right now. Everybody, you know, Raz was signed to Dre. I worked under M and Dre. You know what I mean? You got Killer Priest from Wu-Tang. Cannabis, you know, he stands on his own. So it's just like everybody's got merits on that record.
Absolutely. That's dope right there. That's dope. Yeah, that's more like you said, the more OG rap, the more, you know, that real soul. But as far as the newer artists though, what any of the new artists you like that are you listening to?
You know, I like the current stuff. I'll be honest, now is so single driven. There's a lot of songs I like. You know, I love the Mega Stallions. I love the Cardi B's. I love the Migos, but it's like on a per song basis. I'll be honest with you, you know. It's just a real single driven market to me right now. I've yet, outside of like J. Cole, who I really, really like, you know, I actually worked with J. Cole before he blew up too. I think that's kind of a pattern for me.
Seems like you caught a lot of people before they blew up.
Oh man, you don't know
a lot of people in the startup cycle. You're there.
Yeah, dude. So I can name right now: Eminem, will.i.am, Akon. I toured with Akon when he was promoting Locked Up. We were both on Universal, and I was on Motown. Okay. And we would go to radio, and Locked Up would be stuck in my head, just stuck. And I told him, I said, dude, I was like, this is a hit. I swear to God, I can't go to my room and go to sleep without this damn song being in my head. He's like, oh, Dina, you're so crazy, Dina. I said, no, I'm serious. And sure enough, we get back to New York. Hot 97 is playing that shit. I knew it. So yeah, so J. Cole, who else before they blew? I'm telling you, I catch everybody right before they blow up.
That's crazy. You might start your own label, getting your A&R back, start finding some of these artists. Seem like you got the eye and the ear for it.
Yeah, for sure. Or out of that, or I need to just go ahead and write my book.
A memoir.
You know? Yeah.
Dina Rae memoir.
I've been really like the past 5 years, I've really been flying under the radar. I don't know what you were going to ask me next, but I'm just going to get into it. I really enjoy engineering and vocal producing because of my experience as a vocalist. And when will.i.am from the Black Eyed Peas heard what I was doing, I've known him too since I was like 19. I used to sing hooks and do demos at their studio. He told me to come cut all his kid artists that he was developing. So then I really got my hours in, and I realized like, damn, like I really enjoy this, because not only am I doing what I love, but I can hit these young kids to the game and everything I went through already. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's the other lane I've been working outside of my Dina Rae stuff, which I do for film and television right now as well. So I'm wearing a lot of hats.
Yeah, absolutely. That's dope. I mean, you know, I feel as though when you become more seasoned in the game, like when you first start off, you're hungry to be an artist, to get your music out there. But once you get seasoned and once you get into it, you want to learn everything. You want to more so do the business side of things. And that's really how you push your career further.
Absolutely. I'll be honest, like if I hadn't learned Pro Tools after the Motown situation, I probably wouldn't even be in the game anymore. It gave me a whole nother second life in this shit. You know what I mean? The game has changed so much, and it's a young man's game. So I definitely feel like
catch up or get left behind.
You have to grow. You do. And I enjoy the growth. I like doing stuff for television and film because I don't have to be in the front. I got records all over the place, all those reality shows and all this TV stuff. I got songs and all that stuff. And I don't have to do anything. I don't have to tour. I ain't got to run around. I could sit right here in my house and create all that shit and send it out and then make money in my sleep, And I'm cool with that because I'm not of this generation. I am, I'll post on Instagram, but I'm not an Instagram girl. You know what I mean? Like I just didn't grow up in that era. So I just think it's another game right now. It's a whole nother situation with this music shit. And a lot of people don't even need talent anymore.
Yeah, you can go viral. You can go viral, really.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's cool, much respect, but that's not my thing.
Okay, so in these 4 albums you're on, I see you always appear on track 13. I know you got a 13 tat as well, right? Tattoo?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so explain the significance of 13. You always show up on track list 13. You got the 13 tattoo. Break down the 13 game for us.
Well, I mean, so as far as the Eminem shit, he did that. He started that pattern. And what happened was when I was on the anger management tour, my best friend called me. And she said, bitch, that 13 didn't start with him. I said, what are you talking about? She said, you forgot? Our first singing group when we were 13 was called 1313. I was like, what? I was like, oh shit, I forgot. So here I am literally 13 years later singing the 13. So it's stupid. The 13 has just followed me around. So her and I both got our shit tatted. It was just one of those things. But that was M's formula. If you're an avid, like if you were one of those crazy avid Eminem fans that knows his albums, like in the beginning, you'll see that the vibe of the record is the same on those first 3 albums. The format is the same. So I was like always on that up tempo song, that radio worthy song, the catchy one. I know Power 106 here in LA, they would always play the M records that I was on because they were up tempo, so.
That's dope. Yep. Do you, if you don't mind me asking, do you still receive royalties for those records?
I get digital royalties. I get performance royalties. Yep. Trust me, if I knew then what I know now, the business would have gone down a lot different. But, at that age, first of all, as I told you before, M was not famous when I met him. You know what I mean? I went to the studio with M because of my love for the craft. And I think that's also part of the reason why M always called me back, because I fucked with him before he was anything, he's very big into loyalty. And I was there when it was just because we love to do what we do. So, it's all good. You take it in stride, you figure out other ways to make money and you just do better on the next one. You know what I mean? But, you got to understand too, a lot of people are like, oh, how could you let him do, and M is real, how can you let him do that? I'm like, man, he was a kid back then. You think he was doing his business back then? You know what I mean? He had lawyers and managers. He wasn't.
It's all a learning experience.
It absolutely is. He didn't, I'm not mad at him. I don't hold him. Like, do I feel like I should be in a, $10 million mansion? Sure, of course. It's all good, because guess what? I wouldn't have went and gone back to learn Pro Tools. I wouldn't have gone back and been hungry to develop other artists and find other avenues to grow, because I would have been comfortable. So there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I'm saying? So I count my blessings and just try to do my best every day.
Absolutely. That's all you can do. And
absolutely.
So what about to this current day in 2021? Are you and M still cool? You guys still have a relationship?
I have not spoke to M. I have not spoke to him. I know he went on a different path as far as like with his sobriety and his family and everything. So I respect that. I love him from afar. I'll never talk a bad word about that man, because he gave me my break and he was truly loyal. So, I'll always respect him, and if he wants to reach out, he knows how to reach me.
Absolutely.
I think he'd be proud of what I'm doing now,
Absolutely. For sure. You got to respect it. You got to respect it.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. recently you dropped the 2021 single, and you followed that up with the G Spot HHS remix of that single.
Okay.
That's more of a house sound. That's more of a
Uh-huh.
house record. Is that more of your sound now? The house, the EDM side of
Mm-mm.
things. Is that more of your
Not
sound
at
now?
all. Not at all. A DJ from Chicago heard the original of the 2021 record. I mean, this is us coming out the pandemic. You know, I haven't really been focusing on Dina Rae, the artist stuff, but of course, we're in our cribs. You know, I started just making a couple records just for the fuck of it. And this DJ from Chicago, DJ G Spot, he reached out to me. He just asked me, could he remix it? I'm like, go ahead, here. I'll fuck with any genre. You know what I mean? You can't put me in a box,
Business is
baby.
business.
That's right. That's right. I like dance music. I like electronic, you know. I've even actually a funny story is I got my first DJ gig in Vegas a couple months ago, and I was playing my boy Jay Nice from Vegas. He invited me to spin with him because I'm trying to get my feet wet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we did an EDM house party. I was playing electronic music. I have no idea what the hell I'm playing, but I was playing it. I like it though. I
Yeah,
do
a
like it
lot of the
though.
EDM, the house events and parties and stuff, they be lit. They be turned up.
Absolutely, absolutely. And at the end of the day, music is music. It's got a beat, it's got a melody. I got an ear. I know what pitch is. You know what I mean? So, and don't get me wrong, I respect the DJ. I don't use turntables like, you know, my peers did growing up in hip hop and all that. I'm a controller girl. So, you know, I'm going to call myself a curator or a baby DJ, you know.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
then
I started during the pandemic. Thursday nights, I was just rocking out, just playing music, really
yeah.
partying in here.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we seen that with the pandemic. The pandemic brought on a lot of live streaming. You see a lot of DJs do sets through Twitch and live stream them now. So
Yep.
do you prefer live stream sets, or would you rather be in a venue and up close with people? Which one do you prefer?
Um, excuse me. I mean, a venue, obviously, but the thing is I learned during the pandemic. I actually did my first gig during the pandemic. It was 4th of July, 2020. And my homeboy had a backyard boogie and he closed me off in the corner outside. And I rocked for 8 hours my first time. I mean, it was
Wow.
amazing. But yeah,
You did an
I
8 hour
prefer.
set?
I did an 8 hour set on 4th of July during COVID. Yeah. You know, I was just like, keep the drinks coming. They just, you know, my girls were bringing me shots. We were partying, you know, but we hadn't been out the house. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I prefer to be around people. I like feeding off that energy. Definitely,
Absolutely.
definitely. Mm-hmm.
That's dope. I could definitely dig that. All right. If you could work with any artist or any producer right now, who would you want to work with?
That's a great question. Let me think. Let me think. Well, definitely at the top of my list is Timberland. I'm always going to be a Timbo fan.
Okay.
I mean, his beats are just always original. Always, always original. Um, who else would I love to work with? You put me on the spot. Probably, you know what I would like to do? I would like to get with one of those hot EDM electronic DJs. Somebody like a DJ Snake. You know what I mean? And hop on a electronic record with one of those DJs probably. You know.
Yeah, that'd be big. DJ Snake, he's a huge DJ. And then
I
like you
love
said,
him.
the audience, the electronic stuff, like I said, the parties, the venues, they be so lit, they be so turned up. It's a whole vibe, like you said. As long if you have that passion for music and you love it, you know, whether it's EDM house, hip hop, whatever, like you have that passion, you're gonna respect it in all genres. And yeah,
Absolutely.
I tapped in with a couple of my EDM house DJs as well. When I go to their venues and I go to their sets and their parties and stuff, it's crazy. It's a whole different vibe. Like,
It's
yeah,
a
I
whole
fuck
nother
with it.
vibe. But it's dope. I would do it. And I would love to go to Vegas. I would love to do some spots out there and do some EDM stuff out in Las Vegas. Definitely. But like that 2021 record, that was my first time, you know, dabbling in that genre.
Yeah.
The DJ did that. That was his doing, you know. Okay, he flipped it.
Hey, you got to tap in with people. You got to rub shoulders. You got to network people, different sounds. That's what it's about. It's a business at the end of the day too. You know, artistry and all that stuff is cool, but it is a business as well.
So are there like people on here talking?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the chat. Okay, so we on the chat here. Okay, I was trying not to look at my computer because there's a delay, so it was kind of distracting me.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah, I see now.
Yeah, we're gonna get to,
hey everybody.
Let's see some of the feedback real quick. Paul says she's fine. Shout out, Paul.
Okay. Thank you, Paul. Shout out. Hey.
Shout out to the Grinding Company, / Bundle Fan Music Group. Salute.
Hey. What's up?
Let's see. Chico David, crack shouting us out, and we got BA in the building giving us a strong emoji.
Okay, cool. What's up? What's up, everybody?
What's up? Shout out everybody on the live stream. All right, now definitely. I'm a Michigander. We just had 12 years of Matthew Stafford at quarterback here for the Detroit Lions. He's now the quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams. So what do you think what are your expectations for the LA Rams this upcoming season?
I don't want to sound okay, so I don't want to sound ignorant, okay? Because I don't know everybody. But I do love my LA Rams because they represent my city, of course. But I can't get into a whole sports conversation. I'm definitely a cheerleader on the sidelines, but I don't want to sound ignorant. So, but yes, I'm excited. I'm excited for my Rams this year. Absolutely. And my Lakers once again.
Yeah, hey, the Lakers recently won a championship. The Dodgers recently won a championship. LA's up in sports right now.
Yes, absolutely. You gonna come down and visit us?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love the West Coast. I tapped in. I got to come to Cali. I haven't been to Cali. I've definitely been to Vegas. I like Vegas.
Okay.
Vegas is hot, but I like
the weather's better here.
Oh, of course. So was your first time seeing snow when you came to Michigan?
That's so funny you say that. So I was standing outside a Proof studio and it started snowing. And I put my head back and I opened my mouth because I was trying to catch the snow and everybody was laughing at me because it was my first time seeing snow fall out of the sky.
Yeah.
So yes, Detroit was the first. We were actually in Southfield. Proof had a studio. He's so funny. He called it See Some Friends. The name of the studio is called See Some Friends. So if he's telling this girl he's going somewhere, he said, I'm going to see some friends. Yep.
Yeah. It's always dope to hear, people that aren't Michiganders take on first time seeing snow, because there's a lot of people like that. A lot of people from Southern California, a lot of people from the South. They're not used to snow and the cold weather like we are. Like we're built for it. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong.
I am not. Like it, but I am not.
Yeah, most people aren't. I mean,
I fell on my ass. I fell. Yeah. I called myself going jogging one morning, and they were like, "Yeah, okay," and I bit it on some black ice.
Said it. You went jogging. That Michigan cold air jumped on you. Said, "Hold on, where you going? Come back here real quick. Come back. No.
That run didn't work out. I turned my ass right back around. I said, I guess I'm just gonna get fat while I'm in Detroit.
When was the last time you've been to Michigan?
Unfortunately, 2006 for Proof's funeral. I haven't been back since, and it's not by accident. I mean, I need to go back because there's some folks out there that are probably mad at me right now. But it's hard. It makes me sad because that's who really held me down in Detroit. You know what I mean? Like P held me down for real. And let me tell you, like, females were not happy about it. A lot of females in Detroit did not like me for no reason, just because, like, who the fuck is she? Who does she think she is? But he had my back. He definitely was like a huge supporter. So it's hard for me to go back to Detroit. I'm gonna go, but it kind of hits like a soft spot for me. Like it makes me kind of sad.
Yeah, you gotta connect the dots. Hey, who knows? We might have tap in, do some business, put something together. I could potentially be a Michigan vessel. Who knows? But 2006.
Yeah, 2006. I was just gonna say, like,
15 years. That's crazy.
I'm still, damn, it's been that long. I'm still close with his sister, Mischief, and she actually put one of my little Tory Lanez remixes on Trick show on Shade 45. So he still shows love. He played it during the pandemic, you know, on his radio show for Shade 45. So that was dope. So they still show a little love, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I appreciate. You know, I got a lot of folks out there that I really, really have a lot of respect and a lot of love for. There's good folks out there. And even people's mamas that showed me love. Like I would come out there to record or whatever, and they would cook me dinner and like feed me real good before I would go to the studio. So like it was just so much like family and love out there. It's like a real warm vibe. So you're making me feel bad now because I haven't been.
Hey, we still here. You could always come back. You can always open that door back up. We here.
Yeah.
Just let us know when you're ready to tap in. You come here, network, get everything
I
done.
will.
You know, come on,
how far are you from Detroit? How far is Pontiac?
Pontiac is 30 minutes outside of Detroit. Yep.
Okay, so that's not bad.
Yep. Let's switch it over to Cali now. Okay. Let's say I'm coming to visit LA.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 3 food places in LA I need to visit.
Food?
Yeah, food.
Okay.
Give me 3 places I need to go to.
Okay, well, apparently this spot right down the street from me is really, really popping. Okay. It's called Bossa Nova. And it's Brazilian food, and I grew up on it, but apparently it's like a club at night here. But their food is bomb. It's everything you can get on the menu. It's super bomb. That's the first place. So Bossa Nova. And then the second place I'm gonna say is El Compadre, which is Mexican food. You know, we're known for our Mexican food out here. Actually, I make the best tacos, so.
It's Taco Tuesday right now.
And then, yeah, I know it is. Okay, so El Compadre. And then I'm going to save my house for tacos, too.
Okay, so if I visit LA, those are the places I need to visit. Your house for the tacos.
Yep, I'll make you some tacos. Yep, Bossa Nova and El Compadre, absolutely. But if you want to get real bougie, you know, we can get into like the Ocean Primes and the Mastros and Beverly Hills and all that. But I'm giving you my little Hollywood spots.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we got Ocean Prime. We got that stuff out here. So I know a lot of people that go to Cali too. A lot of people, a good tourist spot. Everybody goes to Roscoe's. What do you think about Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles?
I hate it. It's horrible. It's gotten so commercial. There's much better soul food spots you can go to out here. But actually, it depends which Roscoe's you go to. Because if you hit the one in Hollywood, it's horrible. If you go to the original one on Pico, then you'll have a better experience. That's my personal opinion.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, got you. Well, I'm gonna give the people some sauce when they come here to Metro Detroit. A couple places you should check out. Weed Juice, the organic juice bar in Hazel Park on 9 Mile.
Okay.
They got sushi, they got bowls, they got organic juices. Definitely check out Weed Juice. And I say chili mustard onion, CMO, is a vegan coney. They got coney. Are you food, a vegan? But it's all vegan. It's all vegan.
Are you a vegan?
I'm not a vegan, but I eat a lot of vegan food because I don't eat meat every day. Like meat every day is not good for you. A lot of red meat. Same. So I eat meat, but I don't eat it every day. I definitely eat a lot of vegan food. I try to eat clean. I work out a lot. So CMO.
Do you guys have a Sugarfish out there? The sushi place called Sugarfish?
No. We got a lot of sushi spots, but I don't think we got one called Sugarfish.
Okay, that's another one. You got to eat a Sugarfish out here. Best sushi in the world.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down. My diet is really like more pescatarian as well. It's mostly fish. I don't really do red meat. Mm-hmm. Okay,
cool. Dope. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. All right, let's close it out with the polls here. Let's get some polls in here. Let's see how Dina Rae feels on these things. Okay, Dina Rae, let me know. iPhone or Android?
iPhone. Duh.
iPhone all day. Okay, got you.
iPhone. Mm-hmm.
All right. Nike or Adidas?
Nike. Simple.
Glad to hear that. I'm team Nike as well.
Yes, sir. All
right. As far as pizza, round or deep dish?
Round. I hate deep dish.
Oh man, okay, that might be the first one we disagree on.
It's too much. It's too much.
I'm a pizza lover though, so I can go round or deep dish. But
I had deep dish for the first time in Chicago. It was just, I had a stomach ache. I was like, this is just too much. This is too much of everything.
See, the Chicago deep dish is a lot. You got to come to Michigan and get a Michigan deep dish. You got to go to like Buddy's. I guarantee you love Buddy's.
It's different than the Chicago deep dish.
Yeah, we got the square. You know, Michigan, we're known for the square pizza, the square deep dish.
See, I just don't want it. I just don't want a whole lot of bread. I'd rather it be thin. You know, I'm just, because I'm a girl watching my weight and all that shit. Just the bread just makes it so bulky, you know.
Gotcha.
And I like pineapples on my pizza too.
Okay, so pineapples do go on pizza.
Yes, they do, with banana pepper.
Okay, I'm cool with the banana peppers. I can do pineapples here and there, but I'm definitely cool with the banana peppers. Okay, let me know, blue cheese or ranch?
Ranch.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Okay, let me know. Would you rather take a road trip or a plane trip?
A plane trip all day.
Okay, because you can go further.
I sat on that bus on the anger management tour for too many hours.
Oh, so that whole tour was all bus? You guys drove every state?
The only time we didn't drive is to the first date, which was in Buffalo. So we were on my first private jet with M was from Detroit to Buffalo, and then everything else was on the bus. No, thank you. No more road trips.
Right.
And I did enough for a lifetime.
I mean, if you get on a plane, you can go further. You can go overseas. You can go to different countries, different parts of the world. So
yes,
you can take it a little further with a plane trip. So
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Got you. All right. Airbnb or a hotel?
A 5-star hotel.
Hotel over the Airbnb for you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, unless it's like a real luxurious like mansion or something, you know what I mean? Because if I'm on vacation, I want room service. I don't want to do shit, you know what I mean? And I feel like with an Airbnb, you got to clean up, you got to cook, you got to order. No, if I'm on vacation, I'd rather have room service and all that.
Okay.
I'm kind of a brat.
Okay, got you. Okay, last one. Mexican or Chinese food?
Oh, Mexican all day. You know I'm an LA girl. All day. Gotcha. You haven't had Mexican food till you've had Mexican food here.
Okay.
Yeah, they tried in New York. They tried everywhere I've been.
It's only one place you can get those Dina Rae tacos.
Oh man, I make the best tacos. But yeah, El Compadre, crispy tacos all day.
El Compadre Dina.
Yes, absolutely. You got to come out.
All right, dope. All right, yeah, it's been a good conversation. Dina Rae, you definitely got a good story.
Thank you.
It's dope. Everything you've done, everything you've accomplished. A lot of people haven't accomplished that. Just being able to be on tour, network, rub shoulders with some of the artists, producers you linked up with. I want to give you your flowers while you're here. You really had a good career. I definitely appreciate you coming on this platform, sharing these stories with us, giving us exclusives. We got the Superman exclusive.
Absolutely. And yeah, I like to support, man. I like to support whoever I see. This business, this industry is not, there's no roadmap to this. There's no GPS for this shit. You know what I mean? So, I would just say just support good people, period.
Absolutely. Hey, and you got the good vibes, you got the good energy. I see you shining. I'm glad you came on board to the podcast to do this interview. I definitely want to give you your flowers while you're here. Salute to you to everything you've accomplished, all the work you've put in, the stories you've told us, and blessings to the future. It can't go but up from here.
Thank you, sir. And you as well. I wish you the best of luck with your show and everything you're doing.